Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1 for this breaking news video as F1 team boss Christian Horner has been cleared of all wrongdoing around the Red Bull investigation. Red Bull have released a statement saying the independent investigation into the allegations made against Mr. Horner is complete and Red Bull can confirm that the grievances have been dismissed. The complainant has the right of appeal. Red Bull is confident that the investigation has been fair, rigorous, and impartial. The investigation report is confidential and contains the private information of the parties and third parties who assisted the investigation, and therefore we will not be commencing further out of respect for all of those concerned. Red Bull will continue striving to meet higher workplace standards. So, from Red Bull's point of view, this is entirely over. Of course, they do say there that there is the right of appeal, which they could go down the route of if they feel they have been wronged. But from Red Bull's point of view, they have had this independent investigation and they have found that Christian Horner has done nothing wrong, is basically what's happened here. So that's the big headline there. Christian is not going to be losing his job. He's not going to prison. He's been cleared here in this investigation. But what I really want to talk about is how I feel this has been handled so wrongly since the very beginning. Even to this point, we still don't know what this investigation's about. And the investigation will never see the light of day, because as I say here, it's a confidential investigation that contains private information of all parties involved. So they're not going to release it. But we don't know what this investigation's about. There's been massive rumours about what the investigation is about, and there's a lot of people who've taken those rumours as facts. But rumours are not facts, and we do not know what this is about. So, of course, there was the rumours that he was sending sexual photos to someone he worked with and all that kind of stuff. But then, today, The Times has reported that there is no such evidence of sexual messages submitted in the complaint itself, unlike what De Telegraaf from the Netherlands had previously reported. So, that huge rumour that everyone believed to be true, now, according to The Times, which is a much more respected newspaper, that's apparently not true at all. So I just think the whole way this has been conducted has been wrong. From the start, Red Bull just said there was this investigation into behaviour. They never gave any details. And I feel like if it was a non-sexual case, they should have just come out and said maybe it was a workplace bullying or aggressive management style or whatever they want to say. They should have said that from the start, clear that up immediately. Because what followed was a massive amount of rumours, and now this is kind of going to be on him now forever. Because what it seems to happen here, just through scrolling through Twitter, I know Twitter is not the best place to get an idea of what real people think, but there appears to be two camps of people. There are the people who sit there and go, okay, I've read the statement, there is the independent investigation, they found no wrongdoing, he's not guilty. And then there's the people who sit in a camp and go, oh, well, obviously Red Bull have paid off this independent investigation. Christian Horner is definitely guilty, no matter what they say. There's nothing that they can do that will change my mind that Christian Horner is guilty. And yes, for those people, I'm like, what exactly do you want? Because, you know, they can come out with all the evidence in the world and you just say it's not true because you've heard a rumour that there's all this other evidence. It's like, we have been told nothing. The only facts that we have here is that an investigation happened and that the investigation has been dismissed. That's the only things we actually know. And just from here, you know, because it's sport and because it's Formula One, I feel there's a load of people who are just like, well, I either like Red Bull or I don't like Red Bull. So my opinion on this very serious matter relies on if I like the team or not, which is ridiculous because it's people's lives here, which is far more important than fast cars going round in circles. You know, let's say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, let's say that Red Bull somehow influence this independent investigation to say, oh, here you go, here's 50 quid, say that Horner's not guilty, which I don't believe happened whatsoever. But let's say hypothetically that had happened. That means that there's someone out there right now who has been abused and the person's got away with it, and that's awful. But let's also say, how about Christian Horner, who, let's say he's done nothing wrong, and is now being pelted with all these allegations, and there's groups of people who will now forever pelt him with this allegation despite the case being dismissed. That's his life now. You know, he's got a wife and kids and stuff as well, and they'll probably get it as well. This is people's lives. It's far more important than, you know, who's going to get pole position in Bahrain. So the way this entire thing has been handled, I think, is dreadful. And I think a lot of people need to kind of look at themselves and how they've handled it as well. Because I know I've spoken about this as well on the channel. But whenever I spoke about it, my main thing on it all the time was, look, if he's been guilty of this, he needs to go. If he's not, we can continue as normal. I've never pointed one way or the other. And I think there's loads of people who have gone, this is the rumour, this must be true. And that's just not the way that we should ever do things when they're this serious. You know, there's people who are paid to do an independent investigation who are handling this a hell of a lot better than just spewing random tweets on Twitter ever could do. And it's just horrible to go online and see all these people just kind of accusing him of one thing or the other with no evidence whatsoever. Then people go, oh, well, what about all this evidence? Apparently there was 100 pages of evidence. But it's like, okay, where did that come from? Oh, this person who said it was a rumour. It's just, I don't know what we're doing anymore with this. It's just, there are people put in charge who can sort this out, and they've sorted it out. Now, of course, that they do have the rights to appeal, and if they do, best of luck to them. And also, if I was Christian Horner, I'd be looking at these Dutch newspapers and going, you know what? I think I might sue you because you've said some awful things here. So I don't think this is the end of this, because either there will be an appeal or I think Horner will go down the defamation route down there. But yeah, I'm glad for the main part, from Red Bull's point of view, this is over. Christian Horner will stay as the team principal, which, to be honest, if you looked at how he's been treated by Red Bull themselves over the last few weeks in the team launch and through testing, where he basically just carried on business as usual, then I think, you know, you've got to think that they were relatively confident that he didn't do anything wrong to put him in those positions. But yeah, they'll just carry on as normal. We'll have the Bahrain Grand Prix this week, and we can just go back to just talking about cars going round in a circle, because that is far more fun than talking about potential sexual assault cases, which are not a fun thing to talk about whatsoever. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with the Bahrain preview, which should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to having a look at the practice sessions tomorrow. Then, of course, qualifying on Friday, race on Saturday. If you haven't seen it, my predictions video is also up on the channel, so check that one out. Until next time, though, I'll see you later. Goodbye.